Right, here is an application type problem. Rectangles for a quilt design are 6.5 inches by 4.5. What is the amount of fabric required to make 8 of these rectangles? Okay, so we're filling in rectangles for a quilt, right? It's like a plane. It's a flat surface. So yes, we are going to use area for this problem. So let's draw one of these rectangles, or roughly what it looks like, and label it. Here's one of them. Okay, so they want to know how much it's going to take for 8 of them. How might we solve this problem? We have a 6.5 by 4.5 rectangle, and we need to know how much material it's going to take for 8 of those so that we can make a quilt. You're correct that we want to use area, okay? Because area will give us the surface. It gives us how many square units are the surface, and a quilt is going to be made up of the surface. You don't want a hole in the middle of your quilt with just a border around the outside, and that's what perimeter would give us, okay? So we're going to start by finding the area of just one of these rectangles. What do we get for the area of one of them? Good, 29.25. So this is for one rectangle. So what do we do now to get 8 rectangles? Yeah, just like that. We multiply by 8. Good. So it would take, I get 234 square inches of quilt fabric we're going to need for 8 of those rectangles. Okay. Are any questions on that problem? Nope, nope. Okay. Here's one more area problem. This is not a rectangle, it's not a square, and it's not a triangle. Oh, shoot, yeah. Okay. When you have weird shapes, it is a castle. It's a castle. And when you have weird shapes like that, what you want to do is break it up into figures we can find the area of. They want the area of this. We need something we can do. We know how to find the area of a rectangle. So if we break this up into 3 rectangles, find their area separately, and then add them together, we'll be in good shape, right? Okay. One part of this is we're going to have to figure out the length and width of each of these rectangles, right? This one's easy. It's 6 by 12, right? What about the one in the center? What are the dimensions of this middle rectangle here? Any ideas? Take a look at the ones around it. Notice this is 6 up here at the top, which means it's 6 right here. This one's 4 at the top, which means it's 4 down here. So how much is left for that center section? The whole thing was 14 originally. Good. So if we subtract the 6 and the 4, we have just 4 left. Very good. It's obviously not to scale, right? Okay, so it's 4, and then someone said 8 by 4. So notice this over here, if we look, this side was 12, but we're cutting out this 4 unit section here. So 12 minus 4 does leave us with 8. Okay, so we have an 8 by 4. And finally, what are the dimensions of this last one over here? We have one more over on this side. What are its dimensions? For this rectangle right here. 4 by 12. Yep, it's the full height and 12. So we have 1, 2, 3 rectangles. Okay, the first one is 12 by 6. That one clear over on the right, or excuse me, the left. The middle one was 8 by 4 for its area. And the one on the far right is 4 by 12. Very good. We would go ahead and find each of those then. So 12 times 6 gives us 72 for the first area. 8 times 4 gives us 32 for the second area, and 4 times 12 gives us 48. What would the total area of our castle be then? If we have those 3 rectangles, what's the total area of our castle going to be? Very good. So we have now found, it says to use feet. We have now found the area of that castle is 152 square feet, and that's exactly right. So if you have a figure like this that's not a rectangle, not a triangle, not something we know how to find the area of, break it into sections that are rectangles and triangles, find each area, and then you put them all together. Okay. You might not make it 2 circles, unfortunately. I can keep going and you guys can leave if you want to leave. That's what we can do. But, hey, here's one more question that deals with squares. Suppose 2 sides of a square are x plus 8 and 20 minus x. That's totally okay. Okay, so this one's tricky. They throw x's in there, and then we have to figure out what to do with the x's. We need to come up with some kind of equation. What do we know about the sides of a square? Okay, Desiree. They're equal. Exactly right. All the sides of the square are the same length. So we know that x plus 8 should equal 20 minus x because they are sides of a square. Okay. Now we need to solve that to get rid of x's. We don't want x's, so we need to know what x is. So let's solve this. We need to move our x's to the same side. And I have 2x plus 8 equals 20. And this might come out badly. I think I made up without testing it out. Okay, subtract 8 from both sides, and then the last thing we're going to do is divide by 2. Okay. They want to know what's the area of the square, so we need to know the length of one side of this square. So first we had to figure out what x was equal to, and now we can go put that back in. So this would be 6 plus 8, and this one is 20 minus 6. They should come out to be the same number. If not, we have made a horrible mistake somewhere. Good. Yes. So when we put those in, we find out both sides are 14. The area of a square, we take the side squared, or the side times the side. So 14 times 14 is indeed 196. Okay. Alright, so I can actually stop here since we're out of time, or I can go ahead and do circles if you would like me to. Otherwise,